Hey, ghoul friends. It's me, Adrian, or Aiden. Either way, I am still your host, but you are not listening to Susto this week. Welcome to the 2025 Susto SWAP-A-THON. That is right. I feel like I primed you already for this. I gave you all the heads up. In the month of December, I am taking time off from the production cycle of Susto, and I am bringing to you shows that I think that you will enjoy as much as I do. So I'm sorry, you're probably going to get sick of hearing this specific introduction for these next couple weeks throughout December, but I just wanted to make sure to remind you all about what is going on so that when you hear this, you're not like, what the hell, where's Aiden? Did he ghost us? You get it? Kidding, I would never do that to you. However, I would like to introduce you to some more content and more creators that I really think that you would enjoy. If you do, please make sure that you go to these shows' pages, that you follow them wherever they are available. And yeah, I will be back in 2026. I hope that you are having a wonderful holiday season. As I mentioned before the break started, I'm still online. So just because there are no new Susto episodes, believe me, you all know I'm chronically online, so you can find me on there. Feel free to send me a message, send me an email. I love hearing from you all, and continue to send in your letters from the beyond by visiting sustopodcast.com or my link tree so that we can have some fun stuff to talk about come 2026, which I can't believe that this year happened already. That's wild to me. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into today's feature. I really hope that you enjoy it, and I will see you all in the next year. Bye.
Ghostbeast.
A horror podcast. I'm Todd, joined by... Why does it sound weird?
I thought we were just doing a test. I didn't know we were doing a podcast.
A horror podcast. I'm Todd, joined by my wife, Becca.
Hi.
And we're going to watch every horror movie together, which is why today we watched Black Christmas from 2006. It's directed by Glenn Morgan, who directed that movie Willard. Did you ever see that?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's the one with a guy who's like a master of rats or something.
Oh, okay.
I was always very confused by that movie because
I need to see a poster, I think.
It's got that guy, Crispin Glover.
What? No, I've never... This is really weird seeing this for the first time in my life. I have no idea what that is.
That's a very funny poster. Okay. I remember seeing a billion ads on TV for it, and I was always just like, I don't understand what this movie is. It's a weird guy who is friends with rats.
It looks like a romantasy cover for rat love.
Couldn't even figure out, is this a horror movie? Is this a comedy? He made that, then he made this, and then I saw a quote where he said, if this failed at the box office, he would never direct again. And he didn't. I think he, after this, directed like some X-Files episodes, but never made another movie. And it's too bad because, before we really get into our opinions on the movie, I don't think either of us liked it too much.
No.
That's not... We'll jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll give this guy credit because it seemed like he was super excited about making this movie. Like he made sure to get the approval of Bob Clark, director of the original. And I think he came on as like a producer, and he seemed to really care about it. And there are elements of this movie where it feels like, okay, I can see where he's trying to do something here. Like some of the elements, the way it kind of tries to emulate this like Italian giallo style a little bit, like with some of the cinematography and the colored lighting and stuff. Like there's little stuff where it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. Like you're trying to do something. But it seems that there was a lot of studio interference when they made this. And so I feel for him a bit because we'll get into that stuff later, especially in the spoilers. But like, it's gotta suck when you're like, a little director who's super excited and passionate about making something, especially something like this. It's a remake of such a classic horror movie, and to have like every decision questioned and thwarted. That sounds weird.
Yeah. Thwarted.
And to have every decision like second guessed and overturned by the people who control the money. It's got to be very frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I decided to see this because we watched the original Black Christmas together, like not that long ago, like a few years ago.
Mhm.
My excuse is I never really watched a lot of older classic horror before meeting you. I don't know what your excuse is.
I think this is another one of those movies that, like, I always heard my family and my extended family talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I was probably like, oh, I don't know.
Same reason that I don't like the band Genesis or Yes, because my dad loved that shit. It was like, fuck this. It was the funniest thing when I got older and some of my friends were like, oh shit, your dad likes Yes? That's awesome. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? That old man weird music? Why are you listening to this? But like, we watched the original for the podcast last year. So that's already out there. I think if you're following us on YouTube, that episode's going to go up on Monday because we're trying to add all of our like older catalog to YouTube. So you can see our thoughts over there. But we both love the original. Mm-hmm. I think the ending of the original is like one of the most iconic in horror history. Yes. I just love it so fucking much.
Yeah.
And the 2006 one, I keep seeing online these fucking Zoomers saying that, oh, the original Black Christmas, it's especially this time of year. I think people start talking about this a lot because they're looking for Christmas horror movies. Yeah. So you have like a new generation every year watching these. And I saw a lot of people saying that the original was like very slow and confusing and they didn't get it. And they're like, I prefer the 2006 one. And
that's wild.
Such a disappointment. The youths are failing us.
Yeah.
But it made me feel like, okay, I want to check this out because I've never seen it. I'd always heard people shit on it. So it's kind of like, I want to give it a shot. And this, like, it's the same thing with, we watched The Collector and Collection recently. That's like the same era, like the 2000s of horror. Those were great. This feels like it's completely in that ballpark, that 2000s horror movie.
Yeah.
It feels very much like that.
It's very much that era.
In a lot of ways, including the content.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about more in the content warning.
Yeah.
But yeah, having seen this, it's just, part of what made the original so good was the subtlety of it. The thing that people call slow, I think, works really well in that movie to develop like the mood and the atmosphere and everything.
Well, yeah. And it takes place in like one night too, right?
Yeah, I think
Isn't it? It's like the afternoon to the morning, kind of, I think.
It's definitely a very short time period.
Yeah.
Like it's only...
If it's not one night, it's
probably
like 2
a couple
days.
Yeah. Which I think this one kind of does that too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it has a lot of flashbacks and stuff, which...
Yeah.
Listen, we'll get to that in a second. But this one, like, there are ways that it tries to... be faithful to the original while telling its own story. And, it throws out a lot of red herrings in the beginning about like who the killer could be and all this stuff. But I think my problem with it is, early on, I was on board. I was like, okay, let's see where it's going. There's some weird decisions it's making. But I was kind of there to see, okay, how is this going to resolve? And it just feels like from start to finish, it's doing like the most predictable shit ever. And I don't want to say too much before we get to spoilers, but I think that's the biggest fault of the movie. It's just not doing too much that's very interesting, especially when you're calling yourself Black Christmas. It's like, it feels like we took the wrong lessons maybe from it.
Yeah, it's this film does have like Christmas kills in it too, like themed. Yeah. I will give it that, at least.
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
When you're calling yourself Black Christmas.
Yeah.
But I mean, it winds up feeling like a 2006 version of Black Christmas.
Well, yeah.
It's like, because what was so hot back then? I mean, we talked about The Collector. It was Saw. It was Hostel. It was those kind of movies. Mm-hmm. And you can also tell that they were pushing like the violence and the brutality more in that kind of direction. That shit, I don't even know how to put it in the words, but there's a certain level of violence and gore that's like, this feels like 2005.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, there's no like art to it happening. It's just kind of like happening.
Yeah.
Like there's no like art direction, I guess I could maybe say. Like it's kind of just like it just happens. Either,
it's not very creative.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, there's like movies, all kinds of vintage movies that have, used really subtle techniques to show, like Psycho, like the shower scene is so iconic, but you know, her guts aren't everywhere.
Or even like Suspiria, and you know, the way the blood looks and that kind of artistic element to it.
Yeah, and it's not to say that gore can't be artistic, because it definitely can.
Yeah.
Like it can.
Oh yeah.
It seems like an afterthought, kind of like this needs to be gross and violent instead of like figuring out, well, what does that mean? How do we show that?
Yeah. I think this is the era when people talked about torture porn type movies. And that's a term that I've always really fucking hated because it just feels so like judgmental.
I think it's like a way that it's being showed.
Yeah. It's like maybe this is kind of the type of stuff that people refer to because, I mean, we might as well quickly get into the content warning. As far as the violence goes, it's not using really creative effects and stuff like that. It's just very brutal and cruel. It can be like the violence is a little shocking, like still. I don't know what it was about this era that just kind of hits different.
Yeah, I don't know.
But really the big stuff is so we got two big heavy hitters in this movie.
Yeah, we do.
We got the incest.
That just look, I was not expecting the incest. That was actually insane.
We got the sexual assault, which is also part of the incest.
Yeah, there's that. And then there's also like a woman being felt up without consent.
Yeah.
So it's like now that you before we started recording, you told me about some of the producers and everything.
Yep.
And it just makes sense, unfortunately. That was probably, I would hope that was just a decision of some weird producer and not the director.
Nope, good old Weinsteins. That's the thing I'll say here. Like there was a lot of studio meddling from what I saw, and a big part of it was they wanted to push more violence and more gore and like leaning into what was popping during this era.
But that's not what this movie is.
I know.
Like that's not what the story is.
That's what I think. That's probably where things started going off the rails, was the commitment to all that kind of stuff. It's just so much the antithesis of what the original was doing.
Yeah, just like it doesn't make sense. It's just kind of there for, I guess, the sake of being there, which is annoying, honestly. So
yeah, but be prepared for some of that. But just know that, like, listen, this is not high art or anything. No. It's definitely, it's pushing it for just shock value. And the funny thing is, I think with the way they do it, it winds up being less offensive because you're just kind of laughing at it as being just so fucking ridiculous. So it doesn't hit the same way as a movie that's like actually about trauma.
Yeah, this doesn't have the same timeless feeling as the original does. Because I feel like I could watch Black Christmas, the original, and it just feels like it's a classic. It's just timeless. This is not that.
But yeah, overall, I think like the people I think I'm most sympathetic to, I can imagine a generation of people that saw this when it came out.
Yeah.
When they were like
that's probably
prime age.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're like 13 years old, this is probably the craziest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
We all have that. You almost saw it in theaters, right?
I almost did. I remember in high school seeing posters, I think literally like hanging up around like our mall or whatever. And I was like, oh, I want to see that. That looks really cool. When it comes out on Christmas, we should do it.
And that means you were like 16.
Yeah.
So perfect age for this. I'm always, it's like I said, always sympathetic to people who have these movies that loom super large in their memory. Mm-hmm. You can't help it. You know, it's gonna affect you. But from the outside looking in, yeah, this was just
it feels like there was a lot of missed opportunities.
Yes.
Because it is really well shot. It's really well lit. I think all of the acting is good. I mean, it's the pieces are coming together. It just kind of like missed a couple steps.
I think it's like half a good movie.
Yeah.
Is how I'd put it.
It's hard for it, honestly, and I don't even care. Like, it's hard for me to like a movie that just throws sexual assault in for no fucking reason. Like, that is just stupid.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's at its best when it's trying to make actual references to the original. And I don't mean like character names and stuff, because that stuff's in the movie too. And I don't pay attention to any of that shit. Like, I don't know. It's more the like stylistic choices and stuff. I just wish it didn't have like the most mid fucking story and ending ever.
There was a lot happening.
Why don't we'll wrap this up and get to spoilers. I think as far as would you recommend?
Recommend with a warning.
Maybe if you haven't seen the original, watch that first.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then for this one, you just have to kind of take it for what it is. It's not really a proper remake. It's something that's more like, hey, you want to watch one of those weird ass 2000s slashers where things were a little fucking crazy. This
is just like adjacent to the story.
Yeah, it's a part of that history.
Yeah.
But why don't we just get to spoilers? Let's get right into it, because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about with this, and it's all unrelated to the story, which I barely remember. I guess, well, we might as well touch on that first. I think, like, one of the things that really just kind of irritated the shit out of me with this movie, early on, it felt like the way the story was being presented. Remember, I had like a theory on how it would end.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I can see them doing this. And it's like, they didn't do that shit at all.
Yeah.
I totally, like, they set up these red herrings in the beginning for like these different possible killers. We're going to spoil a little bit of the original in this. Just a heads up. Like, it's impossible to talk about it without mentioning that. Watch the fucking... If you're listening to this because you've seen the 2006 one, what are you doing? Go watch the original.
Then come back.
Yes. Then come back. Pause. Yeah, there's like... They set up red herrings, but then they really decide we're going to make Billy a character. Because remember in the original, it was just basically the name and the voice on the telephone, and that was it. Yeah. That was kind of all you got.
You never really saw him too much.
Yeah.
Or knew anything about him.
No. Yeah. They decided... We need to know who Billy is.
Billy lore.
Jesus Christ. All the like flashbacks and all that. Any kind of horror sequel, once you start getting into the flashbacks, I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. Because they did this shit with like the Halloween movies at some point. Texas Chainsaw. Remember all the ones where they start having flashbacks. So fucking lazy. I'm sorry. It's so unimaginative. And in this case, like what it amounts to is like, yeah, he was fucking yellow, so his mom hated him.
Yeah.
I looked into it and it's like, I guess he was supposed to be jaundiced because he had a liver problem.
Okay, I don't really think that's...
I don't think it makes you look like the guy from Sin City.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned they probably saw that and were like, fuck yeah. Like, that looks creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That was like my instant thought. I was like, oh, that's like that guy in Sin City.
When did Sin City come out?
I think 2004.
Oh, they definitely copied that shit. They're like, we need to have a freak like that in this movie.
Yeah, I used to love that movie.
But that was the whole thing, is he seemed like a normal kid, but he was yellow.
Yeah.
And that means he got locked in the fucking attic.
She hated him. He ruined her life. Yeah, like crazy. Like her hating him literally ruined her life.
She ruined her own life with that shit.
Yeah.
But like,
I hate the whole story.
It was so fucking, it was bad.
I can't.
But that's the thing is like, you get the parallel scenes of him in the mental asylum where he's like busting out. And I don't know, I felt like, oh, maybe what this movie's doing, it's going to focus so much on him escaping and all this stuff. And meanwhile, the people are getting murdered in the house. And then the reveal is like, no, the killer was, you know, her boyfriend or someone else. And separately, you get to see Billy like going to a different house or getting picked up by the police. And it's like, oh shit, he wasn't there this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would have been cool. But no, Billy's just a fucking killer. I think the only reveal is that his sister daughter is the other killer.
Oh, it's just...
How do you like that term?
No.
Yeah, that was like the only kind of twist this movie had.
Them actually showing the assault was actually crazy. That was
very unnecessary.
It was so uncomfortable and so fucking weird. I was just like so put off.
I don't think we needed that.
We did not need that.
That added like a whole layer. Like I could understand if maybe if in that case the twist is like, oh no, it's not Billy. it's this weird like incest baby he had. Like that's something. But the fact that Billy shows up and then, it's just the two of them killing everybody, that just didn't really work. That didn't really go anywhere.
No.
And this had seriously the most mid fucking ending I've ever seen. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
In some ways, it was kind of like such a cheap knockoff because they had things like, you could tell they sat down and said, okay, what are the really fucking cool parts of the original movie? And stuff like, when he puts the bag over her head.
Yeah, let's do that
her.
20 times. With a black bag.
Or like, what about that one scene where you see his eye through the door?
Yeah.
That shit was real scary. This entire movie is going to be about eyes. There were like 5 different shots of him like peeping through shit. There were like secret little holes everywhere.
Yeah, he had secret holes all over the house. And then the one shot was like an After Effects shot of an eye on the floor.
Oh my God. When there was a tiny little hole in the floor that was like a pinprick and then you see his eye through it.
Yes.
It started to feel like a parody of itself at that point. But that was just so funny that was their takeaway from the original. It was like, remember that one creepy ass eye shot?
Oh, and the icicle.
This whole fucking movie is going to be about eyes. Because he also like, he gouged their eyes out.
Yeah.
That was a thing now. But yes, the icicle. That was the other thing is like, that was,
the unicorn horn.
That was part of like one scene in the original. And now it's like, this is his primary murder weapon.
Yeah, we had the Chekhov's unicorn horn.
When you see a unicorn with a 4-foot long sharp horn, it's like somebody's getting killed by that.
Yeah.
But that became his primary weapon. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it gets so ridiculous.
Yeah.
When we're taking these things and just repeating them. Yeah, it really just took like all the greatest hits and just ran them into the ground, basically.
It feels like if they made a remake of Psycho, but it was just a maze of showers. And you're just going through shower after shower.
That's such a good observation because literally it would be like, I haven't seen all the Psycho sequels. I don't know. Maybe it does
that's good.
Come like that. Maybe they get to a point where someone just goes into a building. It's like, oh shit, the whole building's a shower. Have you seen any of the sequels to Psycho? I'm assuming he continues to dress up like his mother.
Probably. I actually don't know if I saw the second one. I don't think I saw it.
Is there only 2?
Yeah, and there was a series too, which I did watch that up until a certain point. I stopped.
No, I just mean it's definitely one of those things where if you told me there's 1 sequel, but then you also told me there were 8 sequels, I'd believe you either way.
Yeah. Well, look, they follow the money when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think the only kill that really stood out, and it stood out in a way that was distracting, was when he kills his mom. Like, you remember that? It just kind of goes on and on and on until he's taking cookie cutters of like angels into her back.
That was actually insane.
That
was so disturbing. Like, it gets like, see, that can be funny, like that can work, but it did not work. Like, it was just like, okay,
it felt
and he's
kind of
eating
out
them.
of place. Yes.
Yeah.
And it just went on for so long.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're really pushing. It was like, we're about to be in Terrifier territory.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though, is like, well, I think on its own, that sounds like a pretty crazy kill, but it just felt so out of place in this.
Yeah. It was also shown really weird too. Like, I don't know.
I will give them a little credit though. I like how they kept with the whole like small frat or small sorority. The whole thing with the small sorority, staying together on Christmas. Because I went, as soon as we saw that, I was like, oh shit, were they still doing this in 2006? Yeah. And you told me like, yeah, this is still a thing. Because I always thought of like, when you think of the nice little house with the small sorority with the, what do they call her? Like the house mother. That just feels like such a 70s idea to me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think sororities and frats have been around for a long time, but I feel like in the 70s, it was probably becoming more popular.
Maybe it's just because of movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was cool to see that because it is like a very specific atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And especially the fact that like they lean into something that the original did well, where there is no like clear final girl as it's going. Like you're kind of given the same amount of time and space with every character. So once they start getting killed, you just never know who's going to be next. Especially because they go for like a lot of the big name actors first. I think that's cool. I think that's a fun way to handle a slasher when it's not obvious who like the main character is. So I give them points for that. And I think like, I don't want to be too harsh on this. I think there was potential for this to be a lot more interesting. I'm not like anti-remake.
No. I mean, I do feel like we were really harsh in the beginning. But it's still an okay movie. It's not like I just really don't like the incest and the sexual assault.
Yeah,
like that
did not help.
But I mean, if I take all of that out, I mean, it was a good movie.
I think, well, let's not go too far.
I mean, like, I'm trying to be nice. Like,
I know. I'm just trying to say, like, there are things that I can appreciate. I mean, that's the thing. We're always very positive on here. And I think it's because as big horror fans, there is still stuff you can always find to appreciate.
Yeah.
And I think that stuff's worth talking about.
Yeah. It's also, it makes so much sense to have nostalgia towards this movie.
Yes.
Like, I just said before that one of my favorite movies used to be Sin City. It is not anymore.
Yeah,
but,
that changed. For a lot
as
of
a
people.
kid, I really didn't understand like the content of it, but I used to watch that movie over and over. But yeah, now I've gotten older and revisited it and realized, whoa.
That happens. No, I think it's just like, there is a thing when you're attached to a certain movie from when you were younger. It could be hard to hear criticism.
Yeah.
Like we are coming into this in 2025. But the biggest like missed potential here is just the ending. Like everything leading up to the end when, it just fully becomes Billy and his sister. And Billy, like, I don't want to criticize the actor too much. Did that actor work for you? Because it did not work for me.
Oh, no. I mean, no, not really. I mean, see, I was already kind of like, I didn't have too much invested in this movie by the time we got to the end. I was like, whatever happens at this point.
I'm just saying in general, like the actor who plays Billy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't want to be mean. That would be mean to say. I don't want to say that.
Yeah, he's just like a big creepy yellow dude, and I don't know.
Maybe it's not at fault of the actor. Maybe it's the decision to make him yellow. I don't know.
That didn't help. That definitely didn't help. But like, the whole lead up to the ending where, they do the fake out where it seems like, oh, they were taken out in this fire, but then, oh no, they weren't actually dead, except they're both in the morgue in body bags. And they're both alive and just fine. So it's like, oh, we didn't check this at all, huh?
We just put someone in a bag.
Yeah, when they both got up, it was really like, there's no logic to this anymore. And I think I saw there was an original ending where it was like, I think one of them died and the other one, they replaced the body with one of the girls. So when they open it, it's one of the girls and it's like, oh shit, they're still alive, That makes a lot more sense than just having them both be in body bags, like, surprise. And the ending, I remember we were both just like, what the fuck at the end of the movie? Because remember, it's just like she takes him out by like flipping him over a railing so he gets impaled on a Christmas tree. Yeah. Which, okay, very Christmas death, But then it's like immediately credits. And it's just like, okay, so I guess the killer was exactly who you expect the entire time. And then he gets taken out and it's like, movie done.
Yeah.
That's, there was just so much missed potential to do something interesting. And that's like, that's the biggest criticism is the movie is so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
From the jump.
It definitely follows every formula, kind of.
Yeah. I think some people probably like that though. Nice, simple in and out. Don't gotta do too much guessing.
I don't know if I'd really consider this a family movie.
No.
No.
Did I
this
say
isn't
that?
No, but it was kind of felt like that direction. Like, oh, let's put on a cozy Christmas horror movie. And it's like, this is not the one. No, this is not the one.
I'm not saying that at all. No, I just think like I can understand some people appreciating the simplicity. But when you're using the name Black Christmas, I don't know. I think you
maybe we could have called this Yellow Christmas.
That would have fixed everything.
Yeah.
I'm like extra curious about the 2019 one though, because
We definitely didn't see that.
No. And I've only heard people say like it is one of the worst movies they've ever seen. I don't know how we can get much worse.
There was a weird transition, I feel like, between horror almost always being horrible and then sometimes kind of good from like 2015 to 2020. We made this transition to where I feel like almost every horror movie is like hitting the bar right now, which is crazy. Yeah. There's so much good art happening right now. And I love it. You
see a lot of people who just are more passionate and care a lot more about making horror movies instead of just making them for the studio.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more of that, which does make me wonder what a 2025 Black Christmas movie would look like.
I think we could do it. Somebody could do it.
I think the version that would come out now, they would actually try to like imitate the 70s aesthetic and really be more faithful. And I think
I would hope.
Yeah, I think that's the vibe I get from like the current state of horror. I'm not saying that they should do that, but I think that's what it would look like.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we don't need another. We're good with the classic.
The classic is perfect.
But Becca, it's so slow. Nothing happens.
I don't know. Read a book. Get that attention span out of work. Cut that part.
So you can go to ghostbeast.com for all our links. You can also follow Ghostbeast Pod. You can support us at Merchia and Big Cartel. The links are on ghostbeast.com. We got stickers. We got shirts. We got hoodies. All using all using artwork. Oh boy. All using artwork made by our very own Lux Fatale, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can follow Becca at Lux Fatale. Check out all her amazing artwork. And you can follow Ghostbeast on Letterboxd, where we rank everything we cover.
My mom said that her barista started following my art because she wore her Lady Gaga shirt today. Nice. It's just really sweet.
Got a spot. Mm-hmm. This like sums up how I feel about these kind of movies. I put it above Wolf Cop and below Dead Silence.
Okay.
I think Dead Silence is another one that impacted people of a certain age, but I think that one was more effective.
No, I think Dead Silence was better.
So that puts it at number 135 on our list. You can contact us at podcast@ghostbeast.com. What was your horror movie you saw when you were 16 that forever affected you? Bye.